The ancient tapestry echoes from the Himalayas. Nepal is a land of great beauty and diversity. It is nestled high in the majestic Himalayas. This country lies between its two giant neighbors, India and China. For centuries, Nepal has been a cultural crossroads, a place where different traditions meet. Its ancient history is rich and fascinating, drawing people to its mystical charm. The land itself, with its towering peaks and fertile plains, has shaped its story. Many people have called these valleys and mountains home over thousands of years. This makes Nepal a truly special place with a deep historical significance in South Asia. The earliest known rulers of the Kathmandu Valley were the Kiratas. They are believed to have come from the east. The Kiratas established a powerful kingdom around the 7th or 8th century BCE. Their rule lasted for many centuries, leaving a lasting impact. They were skilled archers and warriors, as ancient texts tell us. They also contributed to the early cultural fabric of the region. Many aspects of Kirata culture are still visible in Nepal today. Their legacy is an important part of Nepal's ancient identity, a foundational layer to its complex history. Later, around the 4th century CE, the Lichhavi dynasty came to power. This period is often called Nepal's Golden Age. The Lichhavis brought significant advancements in many fields. They were great patrons of art, architecture, and literature. Trade also flourished during their rule, connecting Nepal with Tibet and India. Many beautiful temples and sculptures from this era still stand today. These monuments are a testament to their sophisticated culture and skilled craftsmanship. The Lichhavi kings also established a well-organized administrative system. The Lichhavi era saw the firm establishment of both Hinduism and Buddhism in Nepal. These two religions began to coexist peacefully, often intermingling. This unique religious harmony became a hallmark of Nepali society. The Lichhavi kings themselves often patronized both faiths. This period laid strong foundations for Nepal's unique syncretic culture. The influence of the Lichhavis gradually waned after several centuries. This led to a transitional period before the rise of new powers in the medieval era. This transition paved the way for the next chapter in Nepal's long story. The medieval period in Nepal saw the rise of the Malla dynasty. They became prominent in the Kathmandu Valley from around the 12th century. The Mallas were great builders and patrons of the arts. They are responsible for much of the stunning architecture we see in Kathmandu, Patan, and Bhaktapur. These cities became vibrant centers of culture, trade, and craftsmanship. Each Malla kingdom in the valley competed to build the most beautiful palaces and temples. This rivalry actually led to an incredible flowering of artistic expression. Their rule defined the cultural landscape of the valley for hundreds of years. However, outside the Kathmandu Valley, Nepal was divided. It was split into many small principalities and kingdoms. These were known as the Baisa Rajya, or 22 principalities in the west, and the Chaubis Rajya, or 24 principalities, were in the Gandaki region. This fragmentation made the region politically weak. These small states often fought amongst themselves for territory and resources. There was no central authority to unite them effectively. This disunity made it difficult for them to resist external pressures. This period of division lasted for several centuries, creating a complex political map. In the mid-18th century, a visionary leader emerged from the small kingdom of Gorkha. His name was King Prithvi Narayan Shah. He dreamt of a unified Nepal, strong and independent. He believed that the smaller kingdoms needed to come together. This unity was essential to protect themselves from growing external threats, especially the British in India. Prithvi Narayan Shah began a long and challenging military campaign. He aimed to conquer the various principalities and bring them under one rule. His Gorkhali soldiers were known for their bravery and discipline. After many years of struggle and strategic battles, Prithvi Narayan Shah succeeded. He unified Nepal into a single nation in 1768-69. He established Kathmandu as the capital of this new larger kingdom. The unification was a monumental task, full of challenges. It laid the foundation for modern Nepal. However, the process was not without conflict and hardship for many communities. Prithvi Narayan Shah is still regarded as the father of modern Nepal. His efforts created a national identity and a sovereign state that endured. The Shah dynasty, which he founded, would rule Nepal for many generations. The newly unified Nepal soon faced a major challenge. This came from the expanding British East India Company in India. Tensions over border disputes and trade led to the Anglo-Nepalese War from 1814 to 1816. The Gorkhali soldiers fought bravely against the much larger British forces. However, Nepal was eventually defeated. The war concluded with the Treaty of Sugauli in 1816. This treaty was a significant setback for Nepal. Nepal had to cede a large part of its territory to British India. This included regions like Kumaon, Garhwal, and parts of the Terai. A few decades later, in 1846, a significant political upheaval occurred. Jang Bahadur Rana seized power in a bloody coup known as the Kot Massacre. He established the Rana regime, making the position of prime minister hereditary. The Shah kings became mere figureheads with little real authority. The Ranas ruled Nepal as autocrats for over a century. They largely isolated Nepal from the outside world. This isolation helped maintain their power, but also slowed down Nepal's development. Education and modernization were not priorities for the Rana rulers, which kept the general populace suppressed. As the 20th century progressed, winds of change began to blow. The independence movement in neighboring India inspired many Nepalis. People started to desire democracy and an end to the Rana autocracy. Several underground movements and political parties were formed. They worked towards bringing political reform to Nepal. The Ranas tried to suppress these movements harshly. However, the desire for freedom and self-rule grew stronger among the people. The world wars also exposed Nepali soldiers serving abroad to new ideas. This further fueled the desire for change back home. Finally, in 1951, a popular uprising, supported by King Tribhuvan, overthrew the Rana regime. This marked the end of 104 years of their autocratic rule. Nepal embarked on its journey towards democracy. However, the path was not smooth. Political instability marked the following years. In 1960, King Mahendra, King Tribhuvan's son, dismissed the elected government. He banned political parties and introduced the panchayat system. This was a partyless system of guided democracy, controlled by the monarchy. While some infrastructure development occurred, political freedoms remained curtailed for decades. The desire for greater political freedom continued to simmer. In 1990, a mass movement known as the Jana Andolan 1 erupted. People from all walks of life took to the streets. They demanded the end of the panchayat system and the restoration of multi-party democracy. After weeks of protests, King Birendra eventually yielded. A new constitution was drafted, establishing a constitutional monarchy. Political parties were allowed to function freely again. This brought a wave of optimism and hope for a more democratic and prosperous Nepal. However, the new democratic governments faced many challenges. These challenges included political infighting and corruption. This led to widespread disillusionment among the population. In 1996, the Communist Party of Nepal, Maoist, launched a people's war. They aimed to overthrow the monarchy and establish a communist republic. The ensuing civil war lasted for a decade, from 1996 to 2006. It caused immense suffering and loss of life, deeply scarring the nation. Thousands of people were killed and many more were displaced. The conflict severely impacted Nepal's development and social fabric, especially in rural areas. A tragic event in 2001 further destabilized the country. The royal massacre saw King Birendra and his family killed. His brother Gyanendra ascended the throne. King Gyanendra later seized absolute power in 2005, citing the need to combat the Maoist insurgency. This move was widely unpopular. It led to another mass uprising, the Jana Andolan II, in 2006. This movement brought together the mainstream political parties and the Maoists. Under immense public pressure, King Gyanendra reinstated parliament. Soon after, the monarchy was abolished, and Nepal was declared a federal democratic republic in 2008. Today, Nepal is navigating its path as a young republic. A new constitution was promulgated in 2015, establishing a federal structure. The country faces ongoing challenges. These include ensuring political stability and accelerating economic development. Recovering from the devastating 2015 earthquake is also a major task. Addressing issues of social inclusion and justice for all its diverse communities is crucial. Despite these hurdles, the Nepali people remain resilient and hopeful. They continue to strive for a peaceful, prosperous, and equitable future for their ancient land. Nepal's journey through time is a testament to its enduring spirit.